Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo. Haribo, Nitai Gaura Haribo, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribo.
His Divine Grace, Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Founder Acharya, BBT Founder Acharya, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, ISKCON Guru Brinda Ki Jai, Shri 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 Guru Parampara Ki Jai, Shri Sadguru Sai Prabhu Ki Jai, Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda Ki Jai, Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai, प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की जय। ब्रजभूमि श्री वृंदावन धाम की जय। श्री मायापुर नवद्वीप धाम की जय। पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र श्री जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय। श्री गोकुलपुरी धाम की जय। यमुना माई की जय। गंगा माई की जय। श्रीमती तुलसी देवी महारानी की जय। श्रीमती भक्ति देवी महारानी की जय। समवेद भक्त वृंद की जय। बोलो श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय। जुग धर्म हरे कृष्ण महामंत्र की जय। ISKCON Texas यात्रा की जय। His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada's Transcendental Books and Prashadam Distribution की जय। जय बोलो श्री 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 पंच तत्व की जय। श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय। श्री 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 जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय। श्री श्री प्रहलाद नृसिंहदेव की जय। श्री श्री राधा गोविंद जी की जय। श्री श्री छोटा राधा कलचंद जी की जय। श्री श्री राधा कलचंद जी की जय। श्री 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 राधा कलचंद जी धाम की जय। श्री 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 राधा कलचंद जी धाम गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories, Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. A little bit more on that side. Thank you, that's great. Thank you very much. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Girivardhari Thank you. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravana Chari Yamunatiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Jashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Jashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatiravana Chari Yamunatiravana Chari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Jai Advaita Chandra Jai Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Nitai Gauranga Haribol, 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 Nitai Gaura Haribol. Jaya, Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Jagadguru. Jaya Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Vaishnav Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Jaya. Jaya Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Acharya Thakur Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Acharya Thakur. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Prabhupada, Patit Pavan Srila Prabhupada, Jaya Patita Pavan Srila. Jaya Bhakti Vedanta Prabhupada, Bhakti Vedanta Srila Prabhupada, Jaya. Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. Jaya Patita Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Patit Pavan Srila Gurudeva, Jaya. Jaya Gurudeva, 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 Jai Gurudeva. Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Bo, Jai Om Vishnupad Paramansa Privraj Gacharya Stotra Sri Shishimad, His Divine Grace Srila Bhaya Charanarvindam, Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Mahapurana Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Kalachanji Ki Jai, Shri Gaura Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to you, Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Thank you everybody for attending today's morning program. Today we're reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 18, right? And texts 1 through 12. And we'll be repeating text 5 today. Wonderful. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Vanchakalpa Turubhascha Kripasindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhya Vaishnavebhya Namo Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishnapesthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shanyavadi Paschata Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivas Adigora Bhakta Brinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Grantaraj Mad Bhakt Mahapurana Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Okay. I don't think it's marked to the page, right? Let's go back. Chapter 18. All right, so today we're reading from chapter 18, which is entitled The Battle Between Lord Boar and Hiranyaksha. So, should we just read the texts one after the other, just the translation, and then we'll go to text 5? Is that a good way to do it? Okay, so somebody want to read from text number 1?
Maitreya continued. The proud and falsely glorious Daitya paid little heed to the words of Varuna. Oh dear Vidura, he learned from Narada the whereabouts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and hurriedly betook himself to the depths of the ocean.
So here what's happening is, as we read from the previous chapter, Lord Varunadev, who is the Lord of the ocean, had actually a conversation between himself and Hiranyaksha. And we can see from that chapter how powerful Hiranyaksha is. Hiranyaksha is so powerful that he can defeat any of the demigods. I mean, just an amazing, powerful personality. And so when people become that powerful, they also become a little conceited, you know. So he was very much like that. And so Lord Varunadev had given him some advice, but he didn't take that advice. And he was simply looking for Varahadev, and we'll see why. So somebody read from text number 2.
He saw there the all-powerful personality of Godhead in his boar incarnation, bearing the earth upward on the ends of his tusks and robbing him of his splendor with his reddish eyes. The demon laughed, "Oh, an ambitious beast."
Amphibious beast.
Oh, amphibious.
So here, the Lord, no matter how he appears, he's just totally amazing personality. And Hiranyaksha was a very, very amazing personality himself. Very powerful, golden haired, I mean, just like very nice looking personality. Just, very handsome, very powerful, broad chest, very strong muscles. So when someone looked at him, they would think, wow, what a amazingly glorious looking personality. And here it says in this verse that when he saw Lord Varahadev, he said Lord Varahadev robbed him of his splendor. And with just his reddish eyes, just the reddish eyes of Lord Varahadev defeated the full splendor of Varahadev. Okay, then text 3.
The demons addressed the Lord, O best of the demigods, dressed in the form of a bird. Just hear me. This earth is entrusted to us, the inhabitants of the lower regions, and you cannot take it from my presence and not be hurt by me.
So as you know, Hiranyaksha is one of the 2 children that Kashyapa Muni had predicted would be born of Diti, right? Diti was very, very auspicious lady, a very, very, you might say, in many ways, very Krishna conscious lady, who happened to have just one of the best husbands in the world, Kashyapa Muni. But for some reason, at some point, she became very lusty and wanted to have a child, but the timing was not right to have the child. Because at that time, there's a part in a day, we call it Dhadriver in Hindi, where what happens is Lord Shiva and Parvati, they tour the universe. So at that time, which happens just around sunset, so when they're touring, all those who are Vedic personalities, they're sort of at their best behavior because they want to get the blessings of Lord Shiva. And Lord Shiva is not just an ordinary personality. He's actually referred to in the next canto, Canto 4, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the one who not just destroys but created and maintains the universe. This is amazing that that description is given in Canto 4. And this is Lord Brahma speaking. As we know, Lord Brahma is our Sampradaya head, right? So if Lord Brahma is saying something, you should accept it as the truth. He doesn't speak anything but the truth. It is said the Vedas actually emanate from Lord Brahma's mouth. This is why he has four heads like that. So Kashyapa Muni actually warned his wife, this is not a good time to get together. But if you do, we'll offend Lord Shiva. If we offend Lord Shiva, the cost is very heavy. But she was just so overcome by lust, she couldn't do much about it. And then Kashyapa Muni gave in to his wife's demands. And then, after it happened, he warned that 2 children will be born who will be amazingly horrendous personalities. And this is one of them, Hiranyaksha. So here, Hiranyaksha is so powerful that he thinks he owns the world. And he thinks the world belongs to us, not to you. So we're going to rule this world. Who are you? Like that. So he's referring to Lord Varahadev like that. Text 4.
You rascal, you have been nourished by your enemies, by our enemies to kill us. You have killed some demons by remaining invisible. O fool, your power is only mystic, so today I shall enliven my kinsman by killing you.
Yeah, so we can see how powerful this personality is, right? He can say to someone who he knows is very mystical, and say to him, "Look, I'm going to take care of you, so that our people will be very, very enlivened." Meaning, the people of the material world will be very enlivened. So, text 5. Let's just read text 5 together, and then we'll go to text 6 and continue doing the same thing. Okay? So, Mataji, you can read text number 6, but text 5 you can repeat text 5 when we start. Okay? Is that okay? Are we on text 5? Sure. You're in the right text there.
You want to do
text 5? Yeah, Sanskrit text 5. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Okay. Tvai samstite gadaya shirna sanyai. Tvai samstite gadaya. Right. Tvai samstite gadaya shirna sanyai. that S before the A-N-Y can be a H or S, just so you know that, okay? In Sanskrit, you can do it both ways. I'm going to do it the second way this time. Tvai sangstite gadaya shirna seshyani asmad bhuja chutaya yecha dhubhyam asmad bhuja chutaya yecha tubhyam balim harentirshyo yecha devaha baling harentirshyo yecha devaha Swayam sarvena bhavishyanti amulaha. Swayam sarvena bhavishyanti amulaha. Tvai sangstite gadaya shirna seshani. Asmad bhuja chutaya yecha tubhyam baling haranti rishayo yecha devaha swayam sarvetna bhavishyanti amula. Somebody want to repeat? Tvai sangstite gadaya shena sheshani asmad bhuja chutaya yecha tubhyam baling harante rishayo yecha devaha swayam sarvena bhavishyanti amulaha. Anybody else? Tvai sangstite gadaya shirna sheshani asmad bhuja chutaya yecha tubhyam baling haranti rishayo yecha devaha swayam sarvena bhavishyanti amula. Okay, tvai, when you sangstite are killed, gadaya by the mace, shirna smashed, seshani skull, asmat bhuja from my hand, chutaya released, yea those who, cha and, tubhyam to you, balim presentations, haranti offer, rishayaha sages, yea those who, cha and, devaha demigods, swayam automatically, sarve all, na not, bhavishyanti will exist, amulaha without roots. This translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. You want to read the translation?
The demon continued, "When you fall dead, with your skull smashed by the mace hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer your oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will automatically cease to exist, like trees without roots."
Very good. So, everybody please repeat. The demon continued, When you fall dead, with your skull smashed by the mace hurled by my arms, the demigods and sages who offer you oblations and sacrifice in devotional service will also automatically cease to exist like trees without roots. Purport by His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Somebody want to read the purport? You want to do that?
Demons are very much disturbed when devotees worship the Lords in the prescribed way recommended in the scriptures. In the Vedic scriptures, the neophyte devotees are advised to engage in 9 kinds of devotional services, such as to hear and chant the holy name of God, to remember Him always, to chant on beads, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, to worship the Lord in the form of His deity incarnation in the temples, and to engage in various activities of Krishna consciousness to increase the number of godly persons for perfect peace in the world. Demons do not like such activity. They are always envious of God and His devotees. Their propaganda, not to worship in the temple or church, but simply to make material advancement for satisfaction of the senses, is always current. The demon Hiranyaksha, upon seeing the Lord face to face, wanted to make a permanent solution by killing the personality of Godhead with his powerful mace. The example of an uprooted tree mentioned here by the demon is very significant. Devotees accept that God is the root of everything. Their example is that just as the stomach is the source of energy of all the limbs of the body, God is the original source of all energy manifested in the material and spiritual world. Therefore, as supplying food to the stomach is the process to satisfy all the limbs of the body, Krishna consciousness, or developing love for Krishna, is the sublime method for satisfying the source of all happiness. The demon wants to uproot this source because if the root, God, were to be checked, the activities of the Lord and devotees would automatically stop. The demon would be very much satisfied by such a situation in society. Demons are always anxious to have godless society for their sense gratification. According to Sridhar Swami, this verse means that when the demon would be deprived of his mace by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only the neophyte devotees but also the ancient sagacious devotees of the Lord would be very much satisfied.
Thank you. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Peshtaya Bhutale Shmate Tamal Krishna Goswami Niti Namine. Alright, so we'll go on to read number 7 before I speak on that text. Text number 6. Alright, somebody want to read the translation? Text number 6. Go ahead, no problem.
Although the Lord was painted by the shaft-like abusive words of the demon, He bore the pain. But seeing that the earth on the ends of His tusks was frightened, He rose out of the water just as an elephant emerges with its female companion when assailed by an alligator.
So, anyone, when they're insulted, they're going to feel pain from that insult. And the Lord Himself also felt the pain. Because what Hiranyaksha had said were very, very abusive. And it says here shaft-like abusive, which means they really pierce you. But the Lord is very powerful, so He bore the pain. But then He saw that the earth that He was holding on His tusks, she was very frightened. She was feeling very frightened. And so because of her, He decided how He had to deal with the situation. And you will see a little later why He would not have dealt with the situation as much had earth not been there. So just to satisfy the earth, He put her away. Well, I think it's going to be explained. Let me explain that. Okay, let's go to text 7.
The demon who had golden hair on his head and fearful tusks gave chase to the Lord while he was rising from the water. Even as an alligator would chase an elephant, roaring like thunder, he said, "Are you not ashamed of running away before a challenging adversary? There is nothing reproachable for shameless creatures."
You can see the demon continues to insult the Lord. And he's chasing after, as the Lord is rising out of the water, he's already chasing the Lord. And, okay, text number 8.
The Lord placed the earth within his sight on the surface of the water and transferred to her his own energy in the form of the ability to float on the water. While the enemy stood looking on, Brahma, the creator of the universe, extolled the Lord, and other demigods rained flowers on him.
See how many amazing things are happening here? I mean, the Lord, he places earth on the water, and earth normally would sink. You can imagine, right? In water. But he transfers his energy to her too, so that she can actually float on water. So this is a very, very important verse because it tells us that we should always be energized by the Lord. If you're energized by the Lord, no matter what circumstances we face, our situation will never be anything less than victorious. And so then, when Brahma saw that, Lord Brahma realized what had just happened, that Lord Varadev had transferred his energy to Mother Earth. He became so happy with that, he decided right there and then to start praising Lord Varadev. And all the demigods showered flowers at that time because they were very happy. Because devotees become very happy when the Lord in any way does anything that makes some devotee happy or all their devotees happy, like that. This is very, very important text. Okay, text number 9.
The demon who had a wealth of ornaments, bangles, and beautiful golden armor on his body chased the Lord from behind with a great mace. The Lord tolerated his piercing ill words, but in order to reply to him, he expressed his terrible anger.
Yes. You can see how strong the demon is. And he's really very, very interested in hurting the Lord no end. Text number 10.
The personality of Godhead said, "Indeed, we are the creatures of the jungle, and we are searching after hunting dogs like you. One who is freed from the entanglements of death has no fear from the loose dog in which you are indulging, for you are bound up by the laws of death."
Now we can see the Lord can also speak very nicely too. The Lord is really belting him with his words, but we'll see the effect of that in the next verses. Okay, now text 11.
Certainly we have stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rashatala and have lost all shame. Although beaten by your powerful mace, I shall stay here in the water for some time because, having created enmity with a powerful enemy, I now have no place to go.
This is the Lord expressing his humility. How humble he is, right? He describes himself as having stolen the charge of the inhabitants of Rasatala, means that he himself has come from that type of place. And that he has no shame, because coming from that place, why would he come to the earthly regions? This is completely humility from the Lord. And then he says he's bitten by your powerful mace, because they had already hit him with the mace, right? So he'd been bitten by the mace. He says, I have to stay here in the water for some time, because having created enmity with you, I now have no place to go. This is the Lord expressing humility. And a very nice explanation is given by the acharyas about this. And then the final text, text 12 for today.
You are supposed to be the commander of many foot soldiers, and now you may take prompt steps to overthrow us. Give up all your foolish talk and wipe out the cares of your kith and kin by slaying us.
Right.
One may be proud, yet he doesn't deserve a seat in an assembly if he fails to fulfill his promised word.
These are very prophetic words by the Lord. Very, very prophetic. Okay, you can say what you want to say. Now let's put your money where your mouth is, right? Let's now follow it up with some action. But if you don't follow it up with action, then what is the point, right? Just like, when we chant, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare. We're saying to Radharani, O energy of the Lord, to Krishna, all attractive Lord, and then to both of them, to Lord Ram, Lord Gauranga, Lord Nityananda, like that. O reservoir of all pleasure, kindly engage me in your service. So, if we don't engage in the service, and what is the service of this age? Harinam Sankirtan, right? Golokera Pramadhana, Harinam Sankirtan. If you don't engage in Harinam Sankirtan, then what is the point of your chanting? Because you're begging the Lord, please engage me in service. And then the Lord allows you to do some service, but then we don't do it. So here, indirectly, we're actually hearing something for ourselves, that we do not deserve a seat in an assembly, which is the assembly of the Supreme Lord, if we fail to fulfill our promised word. And what is the promise? We're actually asking the Lord, please allow us to serve Him. And then when the Lord allows the service, we think, no, I think I just want to chant Hare Krishna. Because I really don't want to do the service. Chanting Hare Krishna becomes the excuse. Whereas chanting Hare Krishna is meant to be done 24 hours a day with the service. One doesn't have to stop chanting Hare Krishna. Prabhupada actually says that even when you're eating between bites, you should be chanting Hare Krishna. I actually seen that by one of our devotees, His Holiness Devamrita Maharaj. Any of you met Devamrita Maharaj in your life? Yeah? No? Okay, he's a very wonderful devotee, very nice spiritual master. Preaches mainly in New Zealand, but he also preaches in the US. He's actually the GBC for Georgia, Atlanta, and also in New York. And so one day we were taking prasadam at Rasaraj Prabhu's house together. He had asked me to sit with him, take prasadam. And I noticed that as he ate, between the bites, he would stop and then would chant Hare Krishna. And he kept eating after that. I thought to myself, wow, he actually does follow Srila Prabhupada's words. But let's go back to text number 5, which is the text on which we are speaking about today. So in this text, we see that at the very end, it says that according to Sridhar Swami, the verse means that when the demon would be deprived of his mace by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, not only the neophyte devotees, but also the ancient sagacious devotees of the Lord would be very much satisfied. Now here is a very, very, very important lesson for us in our lives. This is the material world. This material world is called Kaler Dosha Nidhe Rajan, meaning that it is a place where constantly there will be an ocean of miseries. It's just an ocean of miseries. Just like when you go into the ocean, right, we have an ocean of water. And it's not just water, it's salt water. So it's not very palatable, right? You can't drink salt water. You can't bathe in salt water like that and become fully clean like that. So it's an ocean of water. So we can't complain when we go in the ocean. Why am I wet? I don't want to be wet. I want to be dry. Well, if you're in the ocean, you're going to be wet, right? So in the material world, when we're in the material world, we're going to be stalked by misery. And it is described that the greatest of all miseries is when you raise your consciousness to the level of becoming a Vaishnava, which is a very high level of consciousness. What happens is that when we become Vaishnavas, we also become very sensitive, because we can understand things very clearly now. So when somebody says something, you can catch the meaning of what they're saying very quickly. So especially when someone insults you by saying things that are untrue, and they not only say it, but they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, and then they tell others and they repeat it and repeat it and repeat it, right? You are going to be very heavily insulted at that time. You're going to feel the shaft-like pain of those words piercing you. Just like Lord Jesus, he actually felt the shaft-like spear that was piercing his heart, right? It was very painful to Lord Jesus. What happened as that spear was going through his heart? What was he saying? Oh Lord, forgive them, for they know not what they do. So there's a very beautiful verse that comes later in Canto number 4, and I'm going to read that to you because this actually really explains this verse very nicely. So in that verse, the translation, this is from Canto 4, chapter 6, text 48. In the translation says, "My dear Lord, if in some places materialists who are already bewildered by the insurmountable illusory energy of the Supreme Godhead sometimes commit offenses, a saintly person with compassion does not take this seriously. Knowing that they commit offenses because they are overpowered by the illusory energy, he does not show his prowess to counteract them." The idea is not to counteract. Now here's a very beautiful purport that Srila Prabhupada gives after that. It is said that the beauty of a devotee is forgiveness. There are many instances in spiritual history of the world in which saintly persons, although unnecessarily harassed, did not take action, although they could have done so. An example is Parikshit Maharaj. He was unnecessarily cursed by a Brahmin boy, and this was very much regretted by the boy's father. But Parikshit Maharaj accepted the curse and agreed to die within a week, as the Brahmin boy desired. Even to die. He preferred death. Parikshit Maharaj was the emperor and was full in power, both spiritually and materially. But out of compassion and out of respect for the Brahmin community, he did not counteract the action of the Brahmin boy, but agreed to die within 7 days. Because it was desired by Krishna that Parikshit Maharaj agreed to this punishment, so that the instruction of the Srimad Bhagavatam would thus be revealed to the world, Parikshit Maharaj was advised not to take action. How beautiful is that, right? That even in the insult, even in the difficulty, the great pain that Parikshit Maharaj is going to suffer, what is the result? The result is going to be the very best of all knowledge is going to be revealed, called the Srimad Bhagavatam. It is described by Acharyas, you can burn all the books in this world, all the books of knowledge, burn all the books of this world. Just keep the Srimad Bhagavatam alive. And that's all you need. Just the Srimad Bhagavatam is more than all the books in the world combined. How powerful is that, right? And why did that happen? Because Parikshit Maharaj agreed to die, to take the punishment that he didn't even deserve. And this is an amazing lesson to learn. Sometimes devotees have to get a little heavy when they're sitting on a pulpit and they're speaking like this. And the other day we saw Nityananda Maharaj do that, right? I mean, he was like really getting heavy, right? But actually it is necessary to get heavy like that. But we don't understand this. And what happens when we don't understand this? The moment somebody says anything bad about us, the moment somebody insults us, the moment somebody gives us a punishment that we don't deserve, what happens? We think, I have to do some revenge on this person. I have to hit back. I have to become discouraged. It is said that since COVID, the biggest problem that happened in this world after COVID was discouragement. People became discouraged. So many things not working the way they're supposed to work. So they're feeling discouraged. And they're thinking everything is going to hell. Things are going bad. Wars are happening. Inflation is happening. This is happening. That is happening. And everything is going to hell. Well, unfortunately, everything has been going hell since creation. Just like from the time you're born, you're going towards? Yes. From the time you're born, you are 1 minute closer to death all the time. Correct? So this world is going to hell. In the end, it is going to go down to hell because that's the nature of the material world. So discouragement is not the answer for us. It is not. Instead, we should be tolerant, just like you see how Lord Varahadev didn't have to be tolerant, right? But he was so tolerant, he accepted all the insults. But it was only because of earth and seeing that his other people would become unhappy, he decided to take action. But he took action on behalf of others, which is another thing that we learn from this. Somebody may be insulted, somebody may be hurt, but we as devotees cannot stand by and do nothing about it. We have to protect the devotee. We have to say things that defends the devotee. We have to take action on behalf of the devotee, but not for ourselves. And this is the point that Prabhupada makes next. He says, a Vaishnava is personally tolerant for the benefit of others. When he does not show his prowess, this does not mean that he is lacking in strength. Rather, it indicates that he is tolerant for the welfare of the entire human society. And in the next verse, Prabhupada explains that when the devotee sees this happen to somebody else, he does not do nothing about it. He will act on behalf of that devotee, to protect that devotee. He also says that part. And he says, for himself, it is all trinadapi shunichena, tarorapi seishnana, amanena manadena, kirtanaya sadahari. Meaning that he is always tolerating for himself. He's very tolerant, very humble, more humble than a blade of grass, more tolerant than a tree. How tolerant is the tree? Like we saw recently, some people had cut down some of the trees, right, in our neighborhood. The trees don't complain. Even they are being put to death, right? They're being cut. It's actually painful. When any of our limbs get cut, it's very painful, right? So when the limb of a tree gets cut, it's very painful to the tree. The tree is also a person. In fact, the trees in our neighborhood are kalpavrikshas. These are not ordinary trees. Do you know? None of us, 24 hours, is here in the temple seeing all the pastimes of the Lord and the devotees, right? But the trees are. The trees are seeing it 24 hours a day. So who's more advanced? Think about it. Always think. The Lord gave us the power of thinking to think, not to act like, I don't know what's happening, it's all just blah, everything's blah and everything's hazy. Not like that. We should be very intelligent. Notice what's happening. The dust on the floor in the temple is very advanced, because the dust is getting to see the pastimes of the Lord. We may say the dust is only a particle of dust, it's not a person, but everything is personal. Why? Because the dust is made of what? What is the dust made of? Huh? Dust mites, yeah, you might say. And dust mites are living entities, right? So in that sense you're correct. But dusts are made of atoms, correct? And do you know, every atom is alive. Inside every atom there is a soul and a super soul. Inside every atom. Nothing is technically dead. Why? Because life comes from life. Who created the dust? Who manifested the dust? It's Krishna, right? Aham sarvasya pabhavaha mattaha sarvam pravartate, he says. Everything comes from me, and every person comes from me. So from life will come life. He is very alive. Does Krishna become not live at any point in time? Does he become dead at any time? Of course not, right? He's always alive. And not only is he always alive, he's becoming more and more powerful every moment. We come from him. The dust comes from him. Everything comes from him. We should see it in connection to Krishna. Krishna says, I am never lost to my devotee, and my devotee is never lost to me. Why? Because I reside in the heart of my devotee, and my devotee resides in my heart. So this is a very, very important part of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Prabhupada said the first 3 cantos we should read over and over and over again, because then these things will get into our through our very thick skulls and our thick skins, and penetrate our heart and make us understand what it is that is the real truth. The real truth is that Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does that mean? It means there is nothing he cannot do. There is nothing impossible for Krishna. Right? And it is described that Krishna is the greatest because he has the most qualities. In the Srimad, in the Nectar of Devotion, is described that he has 64 qualities, right? 4 more than Lord Narayan. And one of those qualities, in Lord Narayan is the Supreme Personality of Godhead himself. One of those qualities is that his devotees are unparalleled. Krishna's devotees are unparalleled. Which means the devotees also, there is nothing impossible for the devotee. And that is why we say every morning, do not offend the devotees. The first offense is to blaspheme devotees who have dedicated their lives to propagating the holy name of of the Lord throughout the universe, because the name penetrates everywhere. Today is the day when the sun is going to go into eclipse, right? And it's described when the sun goes into eclipse, you stay inside the home and just chant Hare Krishna and not do so many things because it'll become inauspicious. But actually the holy name is so powerful that it can destroy all negatives. Anything that's negative can be destroyed. Kali kalmashu nashana means that kalmasha means anything that can go wrong is completely destroyed by the chanting of the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So this is our program. Our program is Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. We are devotees. Our purpose is to chant Hare Krishna, to serve the Lord and His devotees, and go back home, back to Godhead. That's the essence of our life. And nothing is going to stop us. And actually anything, whether it is positive or negative, will help us. Positive will help us by encouraging us. The negative will help us by bringing results that are extraordinary. If you tolerate the negative, extraordinary will happen. Look at Prabhupada. How many negatives Prabhupada tolerated, right? Did you know there was a time when Prabhupada didn't have much to eat and drink, and he said he would have a little bit of milk, just like that much milk, every second day. That was his complete meal. That's how bad his situation had become. His health became so poor that one day he fainted on the street and nobody even noticed that he had fainted on the street. He suffered a lot. Prabhupada suffered a lot. He suffered heart attacks on the way to the United States, to America, just to serve us all. He accepted heart attacks. So much pain he suffered. And what was the result? The result was the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, where today we have the opportunity to become Krishna conscious and to become truly happy. So, thank you very much for attending the class. Please share. Others like to say something, please share.
I was thinking, and thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Thank you.
Thank you. I was thinking when that last point of Srila Prabhupada, how much he gave, and because of that, we can live near a temple. We can come in the morning. We can eat breakfast. That's Mahaprasadam.
Yes.
Then we can come for lunch and we can eat Mahaprasadam. And then we can come for dinner and have Mahaprasadam.
Exactly.
And we have this advantage because Srila Prabhupada did all these sacrifices for us.
Yes.
It's just I'm holding back a tear from my eye because we're so fortunate.
Very fortunate.
How can we not feel like we got to get out there and share Krishna consciousness for others in whatever way we can?
Right.
Whatever we can.
Yes.
Whatever our capacity is, whatever our gifts are, we must.
Yes. This was Srila Prabhupada's advice. Please read my books, he said, and please go out and distribute these books and distribute this knowledge to everybody in the world. This will be the greatest welfare work of all. Because through this welfare work, the food will come. As we can see, 3 times a day we get plenty of prasadam. The problem with the devotees is not having enough food to eat. The problem with the devotees is having too much food to eat. Our problem is not too little, it's too much of everything. We have everything. We have such nice association. We have the best association in the world. And sometimes we get in with devotees, right? Why? Because we have too much good association. So we think to ourselves, oh, what's the big deal, right? When you don't have something, like for example, those who are in Gaza right now, and they're having to suffer their lives, right? For them, just to be able to breathe would be a great privilege. Because they don't have the capacity to breathe, because the situation is becoming so bad. So, Prabhupada gave us so much. He gave us the best food, the best association, the best knowledge, the best deities, right? The best kirtan, the best dancing, the best clothes. Think about it. We have the best of the... Each and every one of us here is like a king and a queen. That's how good we are. How do we mess it up? By offending devotees, by not taking things attentively, right? Not chanting attentively, not taking to this process attentively. That's how we mess it up. Then Krishna doesn't allow us to feel it. Then we think, oh, there's something wrong. There's something wrong with this person, something wrong with that person, something wrong with this temple, this place, that place. All these things are in our mind. The fact is that wherever the holy name is being chanted, that place is considered to be Vaikuntha. Where devotees are chanting the holy name in congregation, Krishna says, I am there, and I'm not anywhere else. This is how powerful our process is. Thank you. Thank you for that. Prabhupada said you can eat your way back to Godhead. That's how powerful our process is. Others would like to say something? Today is really nice, I understand. Today we make a lot of nice pancakes and have a great breakfast. So we're all looking forward to a great breakfast too. Thank you all so very much. We wish you all a great breakfast and a great day today. Please chant constantly today. Like we said, it's said I think around 9:23 or something, or 10:23, the sun goes into an eclipse, and until I think it's 1:29, something like that. So keep chanting Hare Krishna and everything will be okay. There'll be no issues at all. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Vanchakapaturubhischa kripasandhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Anantakoti Vaishnava Brinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.